Caution, COVID stuff. A show I was on the weekend, somebody tested positive, a couple of people. So I've tested negative 3 times. I wear a mask everywhere I go except radio. So far, so good. Cross your fingers on that. Joy and I go out and occasionally have a chicken pot pie. Joy stays home. Joy, have you gone out yet to a restaurant since March? Seriously.
Yes, of course. Of course. I'm very sympathetic to all of the restaurant owners and workers in restaurants here in LA County. It's very, I'm sure it's very upsetting, and they're distraught right in time for the holidays. So my heart and thoughts are with them, and I will be ordering takeout for the next couple weeks. But yes, I do go to restaurants. Pot pie is interesting though, because it takes a long time to cook, and then you got to wait for it to cool off before you eat it, or
like
you burn
15,
your mouth.
yeah, like 15 minutes. I watched it.
Yeah, the process.
Yeah, I watched it longer than I ate it. I watched it most of the night.
Yeah.
So here we go. It's called the herd hierarchy. We got some good teams now. There's a couple of teams I did not put in this herd hierarchy that I think will make the playoffs. So that's what we're looking at right now. We got some good football teams in this league. We have a very small top, but a pretty broad middle to slightly above average, and here we go.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
I've got a soft spot for the Tennessee Titans because it's old school football. I respect their head coach, Mike Vrabel. They overcame an 11-point deficit against the Ravens. They run the ball. They lead the league in rushing attempts, and they're pretty good playing from behind. Ryan Tannehill's had 5 winning drives this year, late in games, which leads the NFL. They are very old school football, but I got a soft spot for them because I've loved the NFL for 40 years, and I have the Titans, the well-coached Titans, at 10.
Number 9.
Seattle is 9, but I probably have them too low. Keep your eye on their defensive line. L.J. Collier had his best game as a pro last week, and Carlos Dunlap over from the Bengals appear to be able to provide the pass rush they need. They held Arizona to a season-low 21, and they have the easiest remaining schedule in the NFL. We know Russell's got 30 touchdown passes, tops in the league. I've got him a little low. I want to watch their defensive line this week. They may have solved a big issue.
Number 8.
I got to give it to the Raiders. They've become the model of consistency. 3-1 in their last 4 games, 15 straight games with over 300-plus total yards. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. They are best in the NFL on third down efficiency at 52%. Best in the NFL, meaning they've got a good enough offensive line to get a push. They're well coached, and they're efficient at quarterback. This is a big stat for me. Teams that are good on third down offensively, it tells you many things. Good O-line, good coaching, and a quarterback that can be efficient against pressure. Raiders at number 8.
Number 7.
Green Bay Packers. I may have them too high. I'm doing this for Aaron Rodgers because they have the worst red zone defense this year. Opponents score on 97% of red zone drives. They can't stop anybody down inside the 20. And they blew a 14-point lead against the Colts. They got pushed around the entire second half. But Aaron Rodgers is fantastic, and Devontae Adams, you can make an argument he's the second or third best wide receiver in this league. So this is just respect for Aaron. I believe they're too Aaron Devontae dependent, but I'll put him at 7.
Number 6.
I'll put the Colts, who I think have a lower ceiling but play physical football. They've won 4 of 5. Their defense ranks top 5 in scoring, passing yards, and if you watch that second half against Green Bay, it was majestic. They just strapped on the helmets, put their head down, and burrowed over the Packers for 2 hours. By the way, Rivers has only been sacked 9 times. I've said this for years. Good offensive line, masks a lot of issues, and I love the Colts O-line. I've got him at 6.
Number 5.
Buffalo. Listen, defense can scare me, but their only losses are to the Titans, Chiefs, and Cardinals. Their defense has 10 turnovers in the last 5 games. That's good. And they have 9 takeaways in the fourth quarter this year, meaning when it's crunch time in the fourth quarter, they play defense. So I like their staff. Their quarterback worries me at times, but he's a hell of an athlete. And I don't have a lot of criticisms with Buffalo. Their defense worries me, but it tends to be good situationally, so I have them at 5.
Number 4.
Rams dominated the Bucs last night, had over 200 more yards, almost. 32-0 when they lead with Sean McVay at half since he got there. Number 1 in total defense, number 2 in scoring defense. And here's what I really like. I think their secondary is the best in the league. I think they've drafted their secondary. When they got Jalen Ramsey, a big corner, he is so valuable in that division against DK Metcalf and DeAndre Hopkins, Deebo Samuel. That's such a smart pickup. They can put him on a Mike Evans and slow him down. And again, what aren't they good at? Their secondary now it was an issue 2 years ago. It is now a team strength. They moved the ball without Andrew Whitworth at left tackle. I got him 4.
Number 3.
Saints. Defense was really a mess early in the year. It no longer is. Now, I do worry they have 7 come-from-behind wins. Why are they always having to come from behind? But I got to tell you, how many teams in the NFL could go 6-0 with backups? I watched Taysom Hill Sunday, and I'm like, nobody else could do this. They are so good structurally. GM, coach, offensive, defensive line play. I think their pass rush is a little more consistent than the Rams is, so I have them at 3.
Number 2.
This is where it gets easy. The Steelers are 10-0, remarkably, for the first time in franchise history. They've got, now, they have played the easiest strength of schedule in the NFL this season. Some of it is they've beaten a lot of crap. They have the Ravens, Bills, Colts, and Browns coming up, and I do not think they'll go 4-0 there. They win a lot of close games against decent teams. They don't have the running game. I think that gets you to a Super Bowl, but I have them at 2 because they're 10-0, and their defense, especially up front, is nasty.
Number 1.
The Chiefs are 18-1 over the last calendar year. At this point, if you're going to not put them at number 1, you're just trying to be obnoxious. As much as I want to put them 2 or 3 because of Nick Wright, I love a football team that can win playing poorly or win when it's outplayed. And I thought the Raiders outplayed them for chunks of that game, and the Raiders are a good team. And they still came back on the road to win. They win behind, they win on the road, and again, they're 18-1 in the last calendar year. There you go. Our herd hierarchy. Now, I didn't have the Browns in it.